can repressed emotions lead to disease in the body?
Yeah, that is such an interesting question. And it's one that is only now being able to be properly addressed, and hardly even now. But because medical science treats the body and the mind, and they somehow don't understand the connection between the two. And what is coming to be more and more known is, as they have studied the brain and how the brain forms in the first three months of life, and then the rest of the brain grows around it, and how our nervous system is affected by every experience that we have. Good experiences, bad experiences, all of this is somehow imprinted somewhere inside of us. And so the chronic tensions that we end up with as adults have been years in the making. They've been layer upon layer building up over the years to our present. And one of the contributing factors, it's being discovered, to disease is the repression of emotion. The incapacity to say, no, I don't want to do it. Or to say, please, I really want to do this. Or I really, love you. Or it's like the inability to say what needs to be said and to express what needs to be expressed. And repressing one's own needs and living life totally at the service of, a dying parent or a helpless husband or, whatever. It's like when we put aside our natural self and our natural desires and our natural needs and our natural expression, when we put that aside, we push it into our unconscious, where literally the physical body tightens up around the organs and tightens up around the blood vessels and creates, high blood pressure and that kind of thing, and also strokes. But then the organs don't get enough oxygen. They don't get enough because the body isn't moving enough, and there's not enough flow inside, so everything gets stagnant. And in that stagnant, atmosphere, things like cancer develop, and things like, and it's because of this kind of, it's like somewhere where the body and also the attitude is saying no, no to life, or I don't want to face it. It's like a kind of withdrawal from life, or either keeping it from coming in or preventing it from flowing out, but stopping the living, breathing, expressive being that I am as a kind of healthy, flowing river, rather than like a stagnant pond. It's literally as simple as that, to my way of thinking. And so the more freely we can breathe, and the more willing we are to express even things that are hard to express, and to say what we need, and to love as much as we can love. It's like whatever gets in the way of that is holding back the life inside. So yeah, sometimes it turns into disease because the life is somehow being strangled or denied or swallowed or somehow blocked, stopped, prevented. That's a simplistic thing, but I think if you really, and there are scientists who are looking into the details of the the hormone systems and the endocrine systems and the organs and everything, how it's related to each other. And so these things that I think, Reich and Reichians knew long before all the brain science stuff was coming out. I think it's like, these things make sense. They're natural, that it's like, if I don't, exercise enough and breathe enough and have enough fun, then I'm going to make myself sick, Or if I work like a maniac, if I'm a complete workaholic also, it's like damaging. So I don't know if that answers that question, but
yes.
Yeah, it's simplistic, and in that way it makes perfect sense. The science may be a little more difficult to prove, but I think it's coming. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.